because dogs don't really go for bread. I mean, they're not.
Oh, that's not true.
Do they really? They love bread?
When
Idiots.
as soon as I take my serrated knife and put it into the sourdough loaf.
What do you make, an OJ bread?
You're riding down the Harland Highway.
All right, hold tight on the Harland Highway show.
Harland Williams.
Once there was a
Guy named Harland.
Is that from the soundtrack of Philadelphia?
TV show.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Once there was a girl named Amber.
Wrong. Touched by an angel? What is that? Sounded very angelic. Oh.
It was Tony Randall.
Oh, well, that's Touched by an
Couple.
Anal. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, I nailed it. Oh, funny when you get them and you're not even trying.
True.
Folks, he's back.
Finally.
We got him. Tom Pompa. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on the Harland Highway podcast, and my guy Tom Papa is here, and I'm gonna say it: writer, actor, comedian, producer, podcaster. Tell them about your podcast right out of the gate. Sometimes I wait to the end, but you have such a interesting
Breaking Bread with Tom Papa podcast.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful podcast. You've been on it.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
I bake bread for every guest.
Yeah.
And they come on, and we enjoy some time together. And it's we wait till you see. It's really changed since you were there.
Really?
Yeah.
New bread.
It looks like an Italian restaurant now.
Wow.
It's a booth, and we hang out, and we have food, and
wow.
you walk away with your bread, and it's really nice. We just had I just had Leanne Morgan on this morning, who says hello.
Oh, wow.
And she adores you and has never met you.
Oh, no.
But she wants you to know that she's in love with you. Not like that.
Say that name again.
Leanne Morgan.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Do you know Leanne?
Sure I do.
No.
Yeah, Leanne Morgan.
Leanne is a brilliant comedian.
Yeah.
Who just exploded over the last 2 years.
Oh, my God. She stepped on a landmine?
It was weird doing the podcast with just her head.
Yeah.
But still funny. Still, when you have funny in you.
And it never hurts to get a little head.
It's nice to see you.
You too, buddy. And I got to say, when I did your podcast the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't know the whole bread theme. I just thought I was sitting down with my buddy Tom Papa. I didn't know about a lot of podcasts when this sort of new podcast revolution started.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I'll come on your show. So we do the show, and then towards the end, you go, hey, here's a giant it was a round loaf of, and I thought you were
sourdough
pulling a gag.
bread.
I thought it was a gag, so I put it on my head, and I'm punching it, and I smashed it. I thought it was some kind of Tom Pompa comedy bit.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I realized what are you doing to my bread? And I thought, he's it's a gag. And then I realized by the end, this is your passion. And I just punched it.
I cared about it. I worked on it for 3 days to make sure it was perfect with you on my mind the entire time.
Tom, and I've turned it into a turban.
But that's what you would expect, Harlan.
Yes. So sorry if I offended. God.
No, it was hilarious. Did you ever eat it?
No, because I punched the shit out of it. And it was on my head. I had it on my greasy, oily, zit-covered head.
Well, come back. I'll give you...
now I know.
Now you know.
And I don't remember you putting it in a bag or anything. I think you just said here, and I...
No, I had a bag, but in the podcast, it's out on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I did not know, guy. Were you mad?
No. Because you're hilarious and we're pals. I kind of expected it. I didn't know that you didn't understand. I thought you were just doing a bit with the bread.
I had no idea.
And then the only time I get offended is when people, what really gets my goat is the people who hollow out the bread.
Right.
And then fill it with some chowder or some kind of soup, as if the chowder deserves to be the showcase when it's really the bread that should be the, right? The leader.
You're talking about a bread bowl where they flip it upside down and
just gut it. And, that makes me.
So what you're saying is the chowder takes the centerpiece and pulls the focus from your beautiful bread.
The chowder's like, hey, bread, why don't you support me? And hold me up for the people because I am the important one.
Yeah.
No, you're chowder.
Yeah.
This is bread.
And who wants to go to dinner and eat their bowl, really, you know? At least the Greeks smash their plates on the floor. I don't want to eat the plate.
Yeah. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada.
That's what I've heard.
Which is...
And by the way, I love your cleaning lady. She's wonderful.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I know if I'm in fat mode, if you ever have a tostada and it's like the bowl is like it's like a tortilla that is the bowl for the salad. And then if I'm really in fat mode, I'll eat the whole bowl.
Could you just say that line again where you said, I like to chew on the edge of it? Just the way you said it. Can you just say it once?
I just like to chew on the edge of it.
No, you got to say the whole... You said to the tostada.
I have to. Well, I don't know what I said. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada.
I think you said I love to chew on the edge of a tostada.
I love to chew. If I'm in fat mode, I'll have a tostada and I'll eat the edge of it.
What is it? Look, I know what it is, Tommy, but they don't. I have about 15 or 16 viewers all over the globe. They, like people in New Zealand, people in Kenya. I have a viewer in, I think it's Fiji.
Oh.
They don't know what a tostada is. I do.
Right.
But if you could just explain it to them real quickly.
A tostada is a Mexican dish that is basically the tortilla almost made into a bowl, and then it's filled with rice and beans and cheese and lettuce and all this, and shrimp or chicken. And it's a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. And again, like the bowl,
Yeah.
you're not really supposed to eat all of it. Maybe nibble at the edge.
Yeah.
But if I'm in fat mode, I'll eat the whole thing. What do you got there?
Well, I think I might have a tostada.
Oh.
Is that a tostada?
No, that's a taco shell.
Oh.
Why do you have these underneath the
Well,
desk?
who doesn't? In case I need a resting place or
These
something.
don't smell like food. They smell paint-like,
Yeah.
right?
But this is my point with the Latino food. And no offense, because I have a couple of Latino listeners. I have one in Spain and one in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Isn't a tostada a taco? Is an enchilada? Is a fajita? Is a
This is the old Jim Gaffigan bit.
It is?
That it's just different.
Gaffigan stole my bit?
Gaffigan stole your bit in like
Pop yours, Gaffigan.
in like 93.
He did? Mm-hmm. Wait, tell me the bit.
I remember him. I remember thinking,
What?
this seems familiar. He had a bit about Mexican food. So what's a tostada? It's a tortilla with rice and beans.
Son of a bitch.
And cheese and sour cream. Oh, okay. So what's an enchilada? An enchilada, it's a tortilla with rice and beans and lettuce and cheese. So what's a taco? Huh.
That's biatch. Okay, then I don't want to steal anyone's material by accident. Don't these look a lot like Hot Pockets? I mean, what? I mean, Hot Pockets. Mm-hmm. What are Hot Pockets? Mm-hmm. I mean, you can put these in your gloves
Yeah.
He didn't do anything like that, did he? About Hot Pockets?
Why is he telling another joke by Jim?
What?
Why is he telling another Jim joke?
Damn it, Gaffigan.
I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada.
Yeah, I don't, I use these in the office to hold letters. They make great, like instead of getting a filing cabinet, I just put letters in them and.
It would last a lot. This literally smells like if you had been renovating in your studio You're like, Tom, I got a fresh coat of paint. That's what it would smell like.
You know what else they're good for? Do you fish? Yeah, if you want to pretend you're a carp.
I like to fish. I want to get back into fishing. I used to fish as a child.
Excuse me. Oh, this is not right. This is not right. I think Gaffigan should come over and clean this up.
Do you have some in your shirt too?
Well, see, this isn't right either. What am I, a nacho bowl? We go from bread bowls to nacho bowls?
What's a Harland bowl? A tortilla, rice and beans, cheese.
That's a
sour
Gaffigan
cream.
bit, by the way.
Why you bring up Gaffigan again?
But tell me about that. Where did that come from? The passion for the bread, like it's a bit of an odd one. I don't know any of my male or female friends that are kind of bread obsessed. So I like it. That's sort of, if you don't mind me saying, it's a little quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did it come from?
I was working on a TV show and I was writing on it, and a friend of mine explained to me what sourdough starter was, and how bread was made with this natural yeast, which is there's yeast floating all around us. And if you put flour and water in a bowl, you'll notice that it starts to bubble. That's because the yeast has gone into it and started gobbling up the flour and water. And and it becomes this living yeast, and that's how you make bread. So he told me that, and I told that to my family, and my daughter got one started for me and gave it to me for Christmas.
Like a bread making kit?
No, she just took flour and water in a bowl here in California and just left it on the counter and just saw that it started to bubble, and then she added a little more flour and water, and it just becomes this active bacteria, this active yeast. And that's where natural yeast comes from.
And that got your juices going? You were like, I got to get into this.
It was a good acting job on Christmas morning when she gave it to me. I was like,
yeah.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But then I made bread from it because I like to cook, but then I never really baked. And then I baked bread from it, and there was something magical about the process of doing it.
Was it therapeutic? Was it something that's like painters? I paint. When I paint, I sort of zone out. Mm-hmm. Does that enter into your psyche?
Yeah, and it's very close to the experience with stand-up.
Oh.
Because you can do it for years and be really good at it.
Yeah.
But you never really master it. There's always something that can go wrong. There's always it's always humbling.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of a process.
But even when it goes right, you want to get to that. You want to keep hunting for that next level, where I'm sure with bread, there's so many variations, incarnations of bread that you probably want to try. The pretzel dough, the pumpernickel. Do you dabble in all those?
Challah, all that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How many loaves would you say you've done in your life? And I'm talking about baking bread.
Well, I have these bags that I give the bread to. They give people the bread in these,
the senior
bags. No, like I gave it to you. And those, I just had to order new ones because I've given away all this bread.
Yeah.
Each pack is 250.
Yeah.
And this is my third pack.
Whoa.
So I've given out that much bread as gifts.
You're popping out the loaves, Daddy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it is weird. Like I've been doing it for years, and I still, like this morning, took one out of the oven, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, and it's like, how am I still excited about it?
Hey, everybody, look what I got. It's Mando. It's Mando body deodorant. And what I love about this stuff, it can go anywhere. I can put it under here. I can put it back here. I can put it here. I can put it down there if I want to. And, oh my goodness, this stuff is vegan, dye-free, cruelty-free. It's a treat, this stuff. And Mando is a whole body deodorant. It's safe to use absolutely anywhere, as I said. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick, a deodorant cream. Look at that. Tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special order for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use the code Harland at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. Please, please, please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. How are you?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's the beauty of it. Like, it's such an odd, and again, not an insult, it's such an odd kind of hobby that you're so impassioned about it still.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Again, like stand-up. Like, it's, you still, I have to say, if you allow me to compliment you here on your own podcast, I was at the Comedy Store a couple of nights ago, and I went up, and I introduced you. Yeah. And I went in the back and watched your set before I went home. Okay. And I don't, you don't do that all for everybody, but I sat and watched you.
Thank you.
And you were so funny. You were just you're having such a great time, and you were so funny.
Thank you.
And I've been watching you for, like, I came out in 1998 on my motorcycle with my now wife.
Oh, that's hot.
We drove cross country.
That's hot.
And we ended up at the Laugh Factory. We were young comics.
Yeah.
And you were on stage at the Laugh Factory. And my cousin, I met up with my cousin, and he came to the show. Yeah. And we got in the car, and he was like, oh, my God, I'd never seen Harland before.
Oh, wow.
And you were so funny. And it just warmed my heart that's 98. All these years later, I'm still sitting in the back watching you and laughing out loud and enjoying it. It's you've always been great, and you continue to be great.
Thank you, buddy. That's to come from you. That's a major compliment. Thank you.
It was really nice.
And likewise, I love watching you. And one of the things, I told you this, I think about a year ago, you don't traditionally do crowd work. Mm-mm. And then I popped in on a few nights where I was watching you too from the back, and you decided to do crowd work for, I think it was the first time I'd ever seen you do like almost a full set of crowd work. And you remember when you came off, I said, I love that. Yeah. And I still think you don't do it that much.
No.
But
I like it, though.
You're really good at it, and what's really good about it is your personality. Some people just do it. It's like, oh, there's a guy doing crowd work, but you have such a distinct voice and such a distinct personality that it adds an extra edge to it because you've got this kind of really cool thing where you're engaging with people, but there's a level of almost I think Chandler had it a bit. There was a bit of that kind of insincerity, but also it was, what's that word I'm looking for? Oh my God, it's sort of like taking the piss out of people, but they don't know it. Yeah. There's a little level of that in the way you do it. Not in a cruel way, but in a funny way. And sarcasm. And it's just so good to watch. Have you ever had a standout moment in the times you have done crowd work? Is there ever one moment that you always go, wow, that one was just a bullet in the chamber, like it sticks out above all the other ones?
There's been a couple times, not of it being like a hilarious moment or anything, but that thing of like that I can talk to people and they don't get offended. Yeah. I think they feel safe when I'm talking to them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's that kind of security thing.
Yeah, a little bit. And there's been 2 times when I like learned the lesson, forgot it, and had to relearn it. When I've asked somebody about their spouse. Okay. They were there with their kid and asked about their spouse, and they had just died. And to stay in it and still be in the moment and be compassionate, but still I'm still gonna make you laugh, even though you just gave me that sledgehammer, and you can feel the whole audience going, "Oh, dear Lord." Yeah. And to make those situations okay, like those kind of stand out. I think at its essence, like it shows that my intent is pure. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, those are the moments where I equate it to you, because doing stand-up is sort of walking on a typewriter? No.
Tightrope?
A tightrope.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're always standing on a tightrope going over Niagara Falls. And you got it pretty good in control. Because guys like us, you've been doing you're kind of, but stand up, like you just alluded to earlier, it can always go wrong or it can go right, and we kind of balance it. But when you bump into those, that feels like you're walking and a gust of wind hit you, and now you're on one foot, like just about to go, and you don't know what to do, and you got to really. I like those moments because that's when the wheels have to spin the hardest.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with someone's tragedy, a death.
Yes.
And do you remember how you handled it? Do you remember
still,
what you said to them, or how you got out of it, or how you made it laughable but still compassionate?
I don't dust it. I don't run from it. I don't try and just glaze over it.
Yeah.
I'll ask them what was their name.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And how long were you together? That's beautiful. And then you two are still out in the comedy club, still laughing. That's so great. Carl must have been so happy. I miss Carl too. I got to tell you, I miss Carl. You know what I mean? Like I kind of just go deeper into it.
Yeah, you got to. That's right.
Run away from it.
You know, my method is I always go out because you got to have some fun with it, which sounds weird, and they love it. But then I always go, and you know why we're laughing? Because Carl's watching us right now.
Right.
When the spirit goes up, you know they want to laugh up in heaven, and they're watching us right now having a laugh with us, and then the whole room goes, oh. And I'm not doing it to be corny. I actually believe that.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. You're on that tightrope, and you got to find a way to get the balance back, and there's nothing more difficult than dealing with a tragedy. A lot of times you'll ask people about their tattoos, and it's a memorial tattoo, or they go, yeah, this is for my 12-year-old kid that was hit by a bus. Like, dude, it's
but they're there. They're also there. They're in a comedy club.
Yeah.
So there's at least a leaning towards searching for joy.
Yeah.
So as long as they know they're in good hands. You know, there's people, if you're not as skilled or you haven't done it,
they could take it the wrong way.
I don't look for these. Like I kind of like when I said relearn the lesson. It's like don't just blurt out. So where's the that guy? You know?
Yeah. Well, what's also really good about humor is that it's healing. Mm-hmm. And I think when you share a moment like that, you're probably still grieving, and when you throw it out in the open, where now you're communicating about a tragic death with a complete stranger, the comedian on stage, but then you feel the rest of the room fill out around you, and then you sort of bring in the element that their spirit is with us right now. I would hope in my heart that that's a healing thing for people. Yeah. And
definitely another step in the process of living the life without them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're healers, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We're healers.
I know.
Wow.
We're the real heroes.
Hey guys, you ever been in a public restroom and you hear the commotion in the stalls next door? It sounds like someone hit a moose, really. And then you got to start thinking about the cleanup and unrolling and the fumbling and the paper, and nobody likes that, huh? Paper cuts and, is it 7-ply? Is it 2-ply? How about this? How about a Hello Tushy bidet? Well, you don't have to touch anything. It just squirts up like a whale breaching out of it, whoosh, right up. And I'm telling you, man, this thing is so easy to put together, so easy to put on your existing toilet. It hardly takes any time at all. The Tushy Wave and Oasis bidets easily attach to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing or electricity. They even have a quick release button to remove the seat for instant deep cleaning. So there's still time to get your ass right for life. And for a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use the code Harland at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code Harland. hellotushy.com. Get to sitting, get to loving, get to hellotushy.com.
I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will munch on the edge of a tostada.
Speaking, I want to go back to another passion of yours. Well, I don't know if it's a passion or an annoyance, but I know you're a dog guy. You have dogs, and you love dogs. You love bread. Have you ever thought about just getting a purebred dog? Because then you got a dog and bread. Little wordplay there. I mean, it's not Jim Gaffigan, but if I could get a little bit of a bigger laugh guy.
Oh, yeah, I have thought of that.
Okay, you know what?
My pug is in the shape of a loaf of bread.
It is? Oh, so you have pugs.
I have a pug.
Oh, God bless.
It's pretty great. And it looks they're all the same. It's so crazy. Like on social media, they all do the same things. And when it just lies out in the sun, it looks like a loaf of bread.
Oh my God! Do you ever kind of get idea? Did you ever toss them in the oven? Or
there's a couple close calls.
What?
A couple close calls. Yeah.
I got a purebred dog, as I was mentioning. And when they're puppies, they all sort of look the same. All puppies are kind of have that cute little face.
Yeah.
And my dog, it grew up at about a year old, and its face started to sort of fill out and was kind of pushed in a little, and had like buggy eyes and stuff. And I had to take it to the vet because I was like, "Good God!" I said, my dog's got Down syndrome. And I go look at it, and the dog said, "Sir, it's a pug." But anyways, tell me about your pugs. How dare you?
It's okay. We're okay.
Why are they? They're so weird.
They're so weird.
Like, why do their eyes go like that? What would like? If I watch the movie Deliverance over and over, I never see a pug, but I see people that looks like they should have pugs,
and you start to look like.
Yeah,
I'm a little more pug-looking than when I got him.
Right, like, oh, you are? Oh, yeah, you are sort of...
Starting to take the shape. My eyes are separating.
Yeah. You are sort of pugly, yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's how they sleep. Yeah.
They're like a hot water bottle. When it's so hard to go out and do shows at night.
Why?
Because you're sitting on the couch and it's, our spots are like 9 or 10 or
yeah,
whatever.
You don't want to get up.
And it's like the family's settling in and you're like, I got to get up and go do a show. And Frank just lays down on my lap. And he's just like a hot water bottle. And he's just like, you're not going out, are you? Not tonight. Not tonight. And you got to push him off. I'm so sorry. I got to go.
Can I recommend something?
Yes.
That sweater you're wearing?
Yeah.
What about next show? Just stuff them inside and let them hang in there. Looks like you got a bit of a dad belly. You got that freaking hot water pug just pulsing away in there. You're probably the most comfortable set you'll ever have.
People have come up to me after shows and show me that they snuck their pug into the show.
Come on.
To watch. Yeah.
So pugs have seen your comedy.
Pugs have come.
How do they laugh?
The same way they sleep.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you guys. I think they were sleeping. You might want to up the dog material a little there, Tommy.
You're right.
Wow.
Do you have things in your act that you don't want to write about but you can't stop writing about?
Ooh. Give me an example. Like, I think I know what you're saying.
Like dog material. Like, my pug is so funny.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm not going to just keep telling. It's kind of low-hanging fruit, dog stuff. But I keep saying it, and the audience keeps liking it, and I'm like, reluctantly do it, but I can't stop doing it.
With me, it's like I don't like to work blue. Like I've never been a swearer. And my first, probably 8 years of comedy, my MO was to never swear, never say a swear word. And then I sort of loosened the reins a little, and I realized there's a little bit of freedom in doing it. But I've never been like blue, like dirty, like, like X-rated, dirty jokes. And I can formulate them. Like I do have dirty jokes, so I have to fight to not do them. Because sometimes, I'm not going to say they're low-hanging fruit, but sometimes when you do something too vile, it's sort of a shock laugh versus a clever laugh.
Right.
Because and so sometimes I have to fight against doing a really dirty joke or something like that in my head.
It's funny. It's funny too because you're, you have an audience that expects something from you. They just know you, so it would be out of character. But even if they don't know you, and you're doing your set, and then you throw one like that in, even if they're just seeing you for the first time, I think they would know that it's not you. That it's not really your essence.
It's not me.
I tried one.
Let's hear it.
I just put some line out. It was just terrible.
Like a blue one?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
It wasn't even that blue.
Let's go.
It was just, I've been working on material about that I've been an adult long enough, and my kids are leaving, and I didn't realize until my kids left how devastating it is to the parents when your kid leaves.
Yeah.
It hurts, but you're so excited just to go out in the world, and everyone in the audience, we've all left home excited to go out and build your life, but you don't realize what it did to your parents, and it's really kind of mean.
Yeah.
And now that my kids are grown and have moved out, I've decided to move back in with my parents as an apology.
Okay, yeah.
I went out, I did it all, I had a family, it's done, and I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm coming in, and I'm going to hang out with my parents and have my mom make me tater tots. And then I threw a line in, and I don't know I don't know if my wife will come with me and move back into that. 'Cause I am married.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work, especially with my dad's hard, fast rule, no hand jobs in the playroom.
Tom.
And it just struck me funny as I was writing it.
Right.
And I couldn't even say it like with any real like momentum or belief. It was just like, what am I doing? I'm telling this silly joke about moving back in, and then I'm like, the job about a hand job, and the whole audience was like, "Oh, why'd you do that for?"
Yeah,
it really felt like that.
We don't like that, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it felt like, and that's a pretty innocuous joke,
right?
It's pretty light,
but it's off-brand for you,
totally.
But it's that's what I mean. Like we comedians, I think in so many different strata that we have those gears we can go to, but we choose not to. And I remember I tried it once. You share it. I'll share my horrible blue joke. Mine's a little more blue because I like my brain goes, if I'm going to do a weird joke, let's bury into weird. If I'm going to do a clever, like cerebral joke, let's find those layers. And if I'm going to do a blue one, like, let's just go there.
Yeah.
So I think I did it 4 times. And one was because someone had heard it once and requested I do it.
Yeah.
So it was this horrible joke where I go, you ever have one of those wacky one-off moments, like once in a lifetime things where something happens, it's like an oddball, wacky, probably will never happen again moment. So I was out and about the other day, and I was out in public, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I walked up to a urinal, and there was a guy beside me, and I looked over, and he had a tracheotomy, and we were taking a piss, and I guess he splattered a little bit, and I slipped on the pee on the floor as one does, and I knocked him over, and we got like wrestled around, and my cock went right into his trach. And I don't know if you've ever been in a trach, but it's kind of tight. And so I started getting a little hard, and now my thing's getting big in there, and it starts coming out of his mouth. And he's like, I'm choking. So now I got to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and now I'm sucking my own, and it feels pretty good. And it just like went on from there, just like horrible, right? Off-brand for me.
Yeah.
But it's like, so that's the stuff. But it got big laughs, the way I told it and spread it, because it's very visual and it's horrible. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I fight. I think.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I do, because it's
and when you were starting out, well, it sounded like you started out like when at very, very, very beginning. I was trying everything.
Yeah.
And I would try more blue stuff just because I was,
I was the opposite. I tried everything, but I refused to swear.
Yeah.
I think I remember the first time I ever said the F word, and I was like,
yeah.
ooh, like it was almost like a shock to me. I was like, but I just like,
it's just not, you just got to be true to who you are. I don't swear in my everyday life, and I don't, you have thoughts, of course, but I don't, it's not, so why would I bring it on stage unless I was playing some character?
Yeah. And I think that's when you find the most freedom up on stage as a comedian, is when you do find your voice or your brand, because then you can say the same joke I just said, but without mentioning any of the graphic words.
Yeah.
I could probably still find a way to make that tracheotomy joke work without all the graphic, over your head.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right. Damn it. Do you know these? You want to hear an interesting similarity between dogs and bread?
Mm-hmm.
You might know this because you're
Brad Garrett.
Oh, he looks like a dog. He looks like, what would he be? A Great Dane, I think.
Oh yeah,
really tall with that kind of with the bug eyes. He's got the
or a good shepherd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you might know the answer to this. Do you know when bread was invented? When they first? You do. How long ago?
Samaria, I think, is where they found the first.
Hang on, I wrote it down. So
you
talk to me. This is great that you know this. How many years ago did you? Samaria. Oh.
I think it was
a place that doesn't even exist.
I know. I don't think it does anymore. And it was like, I don't know, 300 BC or something like that. Because they found yeast. They found proof of
yeast,
fossilized bread, and yeast.
Imagine
because yeast was the thing. Like whoever discovered it. They were making breads, but it was unleavened breads. It was like this, and then once yeast came in, that's what.
As soon as you said fossilized bread, I just pictured like a skeleton of a T-Rex with a Subway meatball sandwich.
Yeah.
So 30,000 years ago.
30,000 years ago.
30,000 years ago. Isn't that wild?
It is wild.
Now, next question.
Mm-hmm.
When was the first domesticated dog? Did you know that one?
I would put that as 15,000 years ago.
30,000 years ago.
What?
Both of them. Isn't that
really?
wild? Yeah, roughly around 30,000 years ago. Because very first domesticated dog.
What do you owe that to? Why the overlap?
That's what I thought maybe you'd have an insight into. I mean, here's Cleopatra with a poodle.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I don't know what the first dog was. It was probably more wolf-like.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the doggies came from. Isn't it weird to think that the massive timber wolf that can take down a moose, somehow we bioengineered a chihuahua that can't even wrestle down a mouse? Like, how did we do that? What kind of Frankenstein freaks are we, man?
A lot of weird sexual hookups. I would say it's because it's domesticated, right? So it's the home.
Yeah.
And bread is all of a sudden the flavors and the smells of bread on the hearth. And that's homey and insular. And the dog is sticking around. And all of a sudden, I think they're both about staying home and feeling safe.
Starting for humans to start building homes. Where it's the kids, the family, at some kind of domicile.
Mm-hmm.
And then the need for protection and companionship. And so the dawn of sort of cooking bread and the dawn of having a pet. Interesting.
Do you think that the dogs got hip to the home and that there was food there and they were like, they domesticated themselves like, hey, I'm your pal. I'm going to stick around because there's food here? Or do you think that humans took the wild animal and said, I want protection or whatever, and I'm going to break you and make you?
I think it was a mutual exchange. I think humans befriended wild dogs, foxes, wolves, coyotes, whatever at some time. They got some rogue one that came in. It's always food with animals.
Yeah.
Let's face it, your pugs wouldn't be around if you weren't feeding them.
Absolutely
They'd be down
not.
at humping a leg at In-N-Out Burger,
That's all he's
Please,
thinking
a
about.
double. Those eyes twirling around like they just ate some crystal meth.
Animal style.
Yeah, animal style, doggy style. But I think it was the lure in with food. Animals are smart, especially canines, and they started to realize there was this symbiotic relationship where if they hung around, laid outside, and barked when there was a disturbance, their reward was food. And then I think as we evolved, that sort of just the food element sort of evolved into the compassion element and the element of touching and feeling and companionship.
Right. Yeah,
That's
makes
what
sense.
this dummy thinks.
And
I don't know.
And bread right at around the same time. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't. The bread, yeah, because dogs don't really go for bread. I mean, they're not.
Oh, that's not true.
Do they really? They love bread.
When
Idiots.
as soon as I take
God.
my serrated knife and put it into the sourdough loaf,
What do you make, an OJ bread? Good Lord, a serrated knife. God.
When I go to town,
Where's your bakery, over on Bundy? What the? The only time I've ever heard that term is with OJ.
When I go to town on that sourdough loaf with my knife, the dogs appear.
Really?
They appear out of nowhere.
They're just dropping through the roof like when watches fell through at Poltergeist? Just yipe, yipe, yipe.
Out of the drains, out from behind the oven.
That's a horror movie
They
right there.
want bread.
What, really?
Yeah, they love
Because
it.
I've had dogs. I never really, anything meat or sweet, but I never really remembered them, throwing a crust of bread.
They like this, too.
I
They
do
like
that
crunchy,
to ducks.
like chips. They
Really?
They like everything. I mean, when the meat comes out, it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I grill, I have these metal tongs, and I keep them in the, the utensil drawer.
Yeah.
If they hear that utensil just being taken out, they know it's on.
Oh,
We're
wow.
going to the grill. He's going to the grill. They get so excited. They'll start following me down. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about taking those tongs and just straightening their eyes? Just clamp them under.
We also have a black lab.
Racist.
And so much more intelligent than the pug.
Really?
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah,
A
labs are
lab?
super smart.
Oh,
Because they have their own lab.
they're scientists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're black scientists. There's also yellow labs, too.
Yeah.
Asian scientists.
Yeah.
There's golden labs, and those are, ones that have been. I'm not going to say it. That was me going into dirty joke. I was going to do they've been pissed on as if a golden shower, but
And
I
then
don't
you
do
stopped.
that. I don't do it. I'm not
I'm
even going to
glad
say
you
it.
did.
I'm not even going to say
I'm
they're
glad
pissed.
you
They're
did.
pissed dogs. Golden hot pissed dogs.
Don't.
I'm not gonna,
I'm glad you.
because that's not my brand.
I feel like you're doing it.
So carry on. Wait, has there ever been a bread? Do dogs eat bread bowls? Because I could see a pug going into one,
Oh, yeah.
and then it comes off on its head, and it looks like it's got a racing helmet on.
I think I've seen that on Instagram.
Oh, let me guess, Jim Gaffigan's Instagram? You know what?
Why'd you bring up Jim again? Stop bringing up Jim.
Well, every bit I do. Does he have a tracheotomy slip in the bathroom bit he does, by the way?
Yes, but without a single dirty word.
Because he whispers it.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the bathroom the other day, and I slipped.
Why is Harland doing that?
Oh, that's good. Are you tight with him?
Yeah.
Do you guys bowl together or anything? Or just hang out?
Hang out, talk
No
on
way.
the phone once in a while,
No way.
like a proper call.
Do you go places together? Like, do you do
No.
things?
I just did a gig with him and Jerry Seinfeld up in Canada.
The Jer.
The two of them are doing some big arena shows.
The three of you on a show? Mm-hmm. That's a solid show.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, it must have been sold out, obviously.
Yeah.
How
those-
big was the
those guys-
theater?
15,000?
15,000.
The Toronto Scotia Bank.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, those guys sell big.
No, and you too, dude. You guys are a great mix because you're all three of you are really clean, but really clever, really funny. One of the things I loved, going back to the family element you were talking about with the canines.
Yes.
One of the things I love about you, because, comedy's a bit of an edgy world. We got a lot of characters that are edgy, and, not all of us, but there's a percentage that are, rabble-rousers, troublemakers, drug addicts, drinkers. We got all that.
Yeah.
But you seem like one of the more wholesome guys when I see you and I hear you, you're a real family guy, which I like. And looking at you, I get that. As a family guy, is it interesting to have that career and your kids kind of go, what does daddy do? Because it's a little bit quirky. It's not your average career, right?
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. I think from the kids' perspective, it's because, you're just growing up. I think they just slowly realized, oh, my dad does something that's weird. It's different from what these other people do. Not like the like nefarious, weird, like that part of it, but just that, oh, he's home like whenever he goes when he wants to go, and he doesn't have a boss, and he just stands up in front of people and says inappropriate things, and they laugh. Yeah, that's his job. Like that slow realization of that. Yeah, I think was pretty funny.
Do you have a moment and if this is too personal, stop me, but do you have a moment with your kids where you, Tom Papa, as their dad, had a hero moment, where it was a big moment where it's almost like you're standing up on the rock, and they're like a big dad moment where you just kind of, in your head, you welled up and you're like, wow, and the kids kind of, I don't know if the kids interpreted it as a hero moment, but was there ever a real triumph that you had that was in front of your kids, or you felt was like sort of bigger than other moments in your time with them?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's a kind of a funny thing because they're 22 and 19 now. Yeah, 20, and the things that you think have weight and are important. Yeah, the way I treated someone in front of them, or when I told them this, or that kind of thing. Those moments don't stick. It's kind of like when you grew up, I'm sure. Like it's you're catching things about your parents that they're not even aware that they're imparting a lesson. Right. You know what I mean? And they take it away. They take away, like, those, their bigger moments are not, a big moment of a kid to a parent is not the same as the parent to the kid.
But was there one that you had, regardless of what they thought, where, maybe it was like one of your kids was getting beaten up and you came out and like, if you touch mine, you got between your kid and some harm, or you solved a problem for the family or the kid? And maybe not. I'm just wondering if there was some grandiose moment that really made your pride like pop out more than normal, just being a good dad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me flip the coin while you think about it. Was there ever a moment, and again, if this is too personal, was there a moment that felt sort of defeatist, where you felt you let yourself down or the family down, something that you thought you could do, or you thought you could hate, or you made a mistake, and it's sort of like...
Yeah, there's countless numbers, not of like real great weight, right? Of like real major, like, oh my God, I messed that up. But just a daily collage of dumb dad moments.
Every day?
All the time.
Oh, okay.
Like, Dad, your light's on your phone. Dad, your light is on your phone.
The flashlight.
Dad, the door can't be open when the dogs are home. Dad, the pot's still on and the smoke is coming out. Okay. Bumbling dad stuff. There was when we were in our first house, and I went to do the jumper cables on my car.
In the house.
And no, in the house.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
That was the first mistake. And then did something wrong, and flames started coming out of the thing, and my daughter just like, I really remember her thinking, and it was that, and then we had a this clay fire pit. It was kind of like a pot belly.
Yeah, I've seen those.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's too, I put a door flame log in it, and it got too
3
hot.
hour log, yeah.
It got too hot, and the thing just started cracking, and her going, should it be like that? Yeah. And then flames shooting out. That happened, like those two events happened, like I think in my head, like within a month of each other. And
was it your daughter there or Jim Gaffigan? Because when you went, should it be like that? That sounded a lot like Gaffigan again. Is this his story?
Yeah,
is this his clay pot
I may
story?
have heard it in Toronto at the Scotiabank. And I really remember that moment being like her realizing, oh, I got to watch him. I thought he had us all.
Yeah.
He's
Dad.
He's not to be trusted all the time.
Dad don't know it all.
No, he could be dangerous. And I have to look out for him as much as he's looking out for me.
So wait a minute. When you caused the flames to come up from under the hood of the car, were you... Did you plug the?
I think I
on the wrong side.
Yeah,
you put the negative on the positive.
Yeah, and it sparked, and something caught, like the insulation in the hood or something. Like it caught, like there were flame, like legit flames
in the garage or out on the driveway,
on the front in the street in front of the house.
So all the neighbors got to enjoy.
Yeah, a couple neighbors got to see it.
There's Papa again.
And when you're doing those things, they're like, Dad, and you're like, it's okay. This is totally safe. People do this all the time. Honey.
So it happened as soon as you touched it, or when you started the engine? It would probably be when you touched it, I would think.
Knowing my skills at the time, it was probably running already.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I just put it on, and it ignited.
Wow.
Yeah, and she was like, I really it was a turning point. It was like this guy, he's good at... He's good at making those dads laugh, but I don't think...
How did you put out... Do you have a fire extinguisher? Did you just...
No, I just patted it. Like, whatever I had.
Just slam the hood. It'll go away.
Let's get in the house.
Put it in reverse. Let it roll to the neighbor's house.
Don't tell your mother. Don't tell your mother.
Hey, everybody. Check out my merchandise at harbling.com. Yeah, most people just slap some letters or images on a t-shirt or a hoodie. But not me. Yours truly. Guess what? I draw my own designs. At harbling.com, you can see tons of my hand-drawn t-shirts. You can either buy the original or you can buy a print. And man, oh man, wear them loud and proud. I love making these designs for you guys and keeping it personal. So check out the whole catalog. We got hoodies, we got coffee mugs, we got t-shirts, you name it, it's there at harbling.com. Get your Harland original design, wearable art at harbling.com today. And thank you for your support, and I'll just keep the groovy images coming. One thing about you, too, you've got that look that, like, if I didn't know you as a comedian, you've kind of got that talented Mr. Ripley look where, like I remember I did a little movie once and I cast you as, like, a CIA guy. And because you always, like, look to me like you could be a CIA guy or a doctor or, like, you're the type of guy, like, if I looked like you and someone had a heart attack on a plane, and they go, ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation. Are any doctors on the plane? I would just go, yeah, I am. Like, even though I'm not, if I looked like you, I'd just run up and, pretend.
What do you mean? That so I look like...
You've got kind of that, like, I can't pinpoint your look. I know who you are now because you're a comedian, but you've got that sort of everyman, like, I could buy you as any profession, like a CEO or a surgeon. Like, have you ever just walked in a hospital and carved out a kidney or anything? They probably get away with it.
I do in show business. I do anytime I watch a movie of something happening in the 50s, like Catch Me If You Can, or anything in space where NASA with the guys with the short sleeve button downs.
Yeah,
I always feel like that's my I should be in all of those.
Yeah, that's your look.
That should be my...
Yeah, I could picture you, the guy, when they go into... Not an astronaut, no offense.
No, the guy in the...
The guy in the thing with
console
the radar, and he's sitting there,
Houston.
separate, Capsule 5, go ahead, Apollo 12, go ahead, separate.
That guy.
Yeah, you're that guy.
Yeah,
in
not
a
in
white lab
space.
coat. Yeah, you couldn't get into space.
No, on the ground.
Not with that look, but
on the ground, nervous, chewing on a pen.
Yeah. And like 5 pencils and pens in your little pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're that guy. Would you do it now? Like Elon said the other day, so did Trump, we're going to go to Mars. Mm-hmm. Would you do it? Probably not, because you have a family.
Yeah, and when they were younger, I thought maybe I'd go.
Yeah.
I would go the deal is you can't come back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got a family.
Yeah.
Or maybe
it's, guys, my country's calling. I gotta go. I thought about it, but now I'm getting seasick on boats.
You are?
I never did before, and I'm thinking the motion thing is
interesting.
It's really cutting out a lot of things in my life, like fishing, deep sea fishing, or roller coasters, or going to Mars. I feel like they're all kind of. I got to kind of just accept I'm probably not going to do it.
Yeah, going for a halibut, 6 Flags, and going to Mars.
Right?
Yeah, you got to cut those down.
I know. It's a shame, because I was ready to do all of them.
So your equilibrium is kind of,
I think, from
changing.
Yeah.
How weird is that word, first of all? Equilibrium. And then secondly, how is it that as you grow older, it changes?
I think it's an inner ear thing.
Yeah. I
think from flying so much, this ear will clog up more than the other.
With air pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Do you have a deviated septum?
I don't think so.
I think you might, Guy. Can you smell anything?
Yeah. Okay. Smell these taco chips.
Okay.
If I have a cold, a slight cold, this one clogs.
Huh.
And I'll have to the point sometimes where my equilibrium, like, it starts to spin.
Oh, wow.
And I got to wait.
You get dizzy?
I get dizzy, and I got to ride it out. So you start to sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
And you just got to wait for it to pop. And it sounds like a balloon, like a...
Yeah, right.
And when it pops, the equilibrium comes back and everything's fine. So I think it's all related to that, the motion and the thing, yeah.
Have you ever been checked for a deviated septum? Doesn't sound like it.
Mm-mm.
Might want to go to an ear, nose, throat, and face specialist or whatever they're called.
What is it exactly? I thought that was sinus.
Yeah, it's your sinus. So it's like deviated. So it's not like like most people have a really clear air passages up through their sinuses. So a deviated one means it's not perfect. It's deviated. So it's either pinched or it's just.
How does it get to the ear?
Well, I think they're connected, right? Your sinuses and the pressure in your nose is connected to the pressure in your ear.
Right. You might be right. I mean, because I do. This is so boring, but I do get a little headachy sometimes.
Oh,
from it's sinus pressure.
Huh?
Maybe
get it looked at, Guy?
Yeah, maybe.
It's funny because when I asked Tom, I said, "Tom, you want to come on the Harland Highway?" And he said, "Harland, there's really no benefit.
Mm-hmm.
There's no upside. Why would I do it?" And I said, would you do it for me as a favor to a guy, a friend?
I was like, what do I get out of it?
Yeah, and he said, Harland, I just don't get anything out of it. There's nothing. And now you've been diagnosed with a symptom that's going to cure your dizziness.
Can they cure that?
Yes, they can operate on it.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
So my sister had a deviated septum, and she lost her sense of smell. So for like 5 years, she would eat and couldn't smell a thing. And I said, why do you even eat? She goes, I just imagined the texture.
So she couldn't taste
She couldn't taste it because she had no smell. And she goes, I sort of remember the smell. So I'm like, oh my God.
Jeez.
And she had a deviated septum, and it's sort of an intense surgery. And she was really hesitant to get it. So she went and got it last year, and her sense of smell's back, and she couldn't be happier. But I have a horrible one.
You do?
I've had it my whole life. I went in for something not related once. I had something going on. I think it was an ear infection, actually. And so I went in to get it, and they took an x-ray of my face, and the doctor came back. He said, I've been doing this my whole career. He goes, I've never seen a worse deviated septum than what you have.
Jeez.
And I said, you know what? He goes, we got to get you in here and meet. I said, you know what? I can taste my food. I can smell. I don't snore. I'm good.
Yeah.
And I thought, if it ain't broken, I ain't going to fix it.
Smart.
And but apparently I got a real winner going on. But I don't.
Was there any part of you that thought that this might be your opportunity to get a nose job and blame it on the surgery?
What do you mean, Tom? I'm proud of my French-Canadian nose.
No, it's good.
Well, what's Gaffigan's nose look like?
Why are you talking about your nose? No, you have a beautiful nose. I was only teasing. Stop. Don't do it. It's a nice nose.
You like it?
Yes. It's perfect. And good on camera. Don't.
I can't tell
Don't.
where funny guy stops and
Don't.
sincere guy. I wonder who the first comedian was. If bread and dogs were 30,000 years ago, I wonder what the first was it a caveman? Was Korg like in front of a log and like, oh, two velociraptors. How did one velociraptor get to the other side of the river?
I bet it was very much fart related.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Blue Angels.
Just the timing.
Yeah.
Everyone's very serious. There's a dinosaur out front.
Yeah.
Everyone's very quiet.
Yeah.
Dude.
Or you got to figure they're eating pterodactyl wings around the fire by the bucketful, and they're all gassy, and they do a thing where they lay down and they make a blue flame like a blue angel.
And then they just start laughing.
Yeah.
Uncontrollable caveman laughs. The caveman, like when you know you shouldn't be laughing, but they're laughing.
Well, you shouldn't be laughing because you're out there, unguarded, and the T-Rexes hear it, and you laugh, and they just come and swallow you like shrimp poppers.
But the comedian caveman can't stop. He just knows it's so tense. This is an easy laugh.
Yeah.
I can make them laugh right now.
Yeah.
Hitting with your club.
It's funny to think of, though, because we think of, Neanderthal man as this sort of primate, probably hunched over, clunking around,
Serious.
hunting and gathering. I wonder where the first time there was like an out loud, like a belly guy.
Yeah, like a real laugh.
I've never thought of. We're in the business of funny. I've never thought. What was the origin of the very first laugh?
Yeah.
Who did it and why?
An uncontrollable laughter.
Where the ones where you're wheezing?
Yeah.
Like maybe.
And were they just doing like little eye rolls, like little funny?
Yeah. Like The Office, where they're just like.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah. Right? Yeah, it is pretty. Because you always think of them as very serious and stern, but there had to be people that were.
And you'd have to think it would have to be a physical gag that got them because, you'd have to see Gronkella trip over a log or a rock and stumble down a hill. Because I doubt there was any type of language that could elicit a laugh like, unglok gung 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 gung. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, I doubt language was refined enough for them to put together a structured joke, even a knock-knock joke.
Yeah, but the fat caveman trips on a log and everybody's going to be rolling.
And plus back then, they didn't have doors, so you can't do a knock-knock joke.
Yeah. This is deep.
It's almost too deep.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it shallow and surfacey and just, what?
Let's lighten it up.
Words from a wooden shoe.
Oh,
remember this?
Yes, I do.
Words from a wooden shoe. Nothing lightens it up than a loafer. A wooden loafer. So what we're going to do, you reach in here, Tom, random words, and see if it sparks a story from your journey, something that happened to you, someone you know.
Okay.
Just somewhere along your journey, does that word inspire a tale from the vaults of Tom Papa?
Lost your phone.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Wow, it's about to get deeper.
I was running for my life. I was all alone. No, the thing that had popped into my head was before the phone. before having phone. Can I bend it a little bit?
Yeah, man, this is your story.
This isn't really my comedy journey, but it's...
No, it can just from your life.
It's kind of a fascinating thing that I was able to even do this. Like that this was possible. So we have our phones now. It's like a lifeline.
Yeah.
But when I was in college, we went to see the Grateful Dead play in Virginia. Right. Me and my college friends. We got in our car and we drove and we camped in a parking lot to watch the Dead.
Let me guess, you hallucinated a phone?
Before they were invented.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And I kept saying, "Where's my cell phone?" And everyone was like, "What are you talking about?" And I locked my keys in the car.
At a Dead concert.
At a Dead concert, deep in the stadium parking lot.
Wow.
And my keys are locked in the car. And this is like a 3-day thing. We're going to be, this might be like day 2. Without a cell phone, how am I going to get help? How am I going to solve this problem? It seems literally impossible.
How are you going to get the acid?
I went, while on acid,
yeah.
I somehow found a payphone at the edge of the parking lot.
Okay.
Found a tow truck locksmith company, called them, arranged for them to come out, met them in this sea of hippies.
Yeah.
Got in the truck. I walked and he followed me to my car and got the key out.
Wow.
Jimmied the lock and got me my keys out.
Yeah.
And I somehow paid him. Like, that seems impossible.
Yeah, it goes back to show you the resourcefulness we had.
Yeah.
And for that to happen then was not extraordinary. But when you look at it now, you're like, what are you? Right. I could have just had 20 tow truck drivers there in a second.
On Yelp, picked out the best one.
Yeah.
Paid through Zelle. They could have just came right to the thing.
Probably an app in your phone to open your car. Beep.
Right.
And it just
exactly.
clank on. There we go.
Yeah. Or how did we even get to Virginia to this parking lot? Someone had to get a map. We had a map.
A map, yeah.
And we plotted our course.
Yeah.
And found our way.
Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems impossible.
Yeah. Well, I remember the early years of touring when, you'd land at an airport, and if you rented a car, you'd literally have to, before you left your home, you'd have to print out, and this is even above it, print out Yahoo Maps with the directions.
Yeah.
But then before Yahoo Maps, you had to ask the guy at the rental car place, hey, how do I get 70 miles away to this university? And they'd tell you, and somehow you did it.
Yeah. And people helped each other, and that was your technology. Just strangers.
You know what, and how they do it up in the tundra is with dog sleds. I'm just picturing, with a dog sled team of pugs.
Mm-hmm.
And their eyes are going different ways so that you never get to where you're going because the pugs are just, their eyes, so they're always going crooked.
And then they got into using huskies, and and then they would tell stories. Remember, we used to do this with pugs.
Yeah.
We used to do this with those dogs.
Yeah. The evolution of... Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, tell the good folks again about your podcast, about where you're going to be touring, everything that's coming up. Let them know.
Go to tompapa.com is the place to go, and that'll lead you to the Breaking Bread podcast, where we have all these great guests every single week. We've had just recently we had Dave Attell and Henry Winkler and Sarah Silverman, Anthony Jeselnik, just all these great people. Jimmy Kimmel.
Jerry, you've had Jerry
Gaffigan.
Did you have Jay Leno on too?
I had Leno on.
Yeah, you got great guests.
Yeah.
Check it out, folks.
Really great people. Harlan, you'll be coming back next month.
I'd love to. Thank you.
And that'll also lead you to my tour. That's the biggest thing happening now is my tour.
Okay.
It's called the Grateful Bread Tour.
Of course. Don't lock your car keys in, gang.
And I'm going to the Chicago Theater and all over New York, San Francisco, everywhere. A ton of dates.
And this is just you solo, right?
Just me doing stand-up.
Are you doing any more stuff with Gaffigan and Jerry? Or is that a one-off?
They're doing, I think, 10 in total.
Oh, wow.
You should try and go out and see it if you can. And I'm going to do the last 2 in San Diego and Phoenix.
Dude,
Yeah.
good for you,
A lot
man.
of telling jokes all
Go
around
see
the world.
Tom, guys. He's one of the best, hilarious. And here's what I'm going to say this because I'd say anyone who's married and has a family and sort of lives a blue collar life, it's hilarious. But then even if you don't, everything you talk about is so relatable. And we all come from families, and you'll just love Tom's act. It's just fantastic. So
Fantastic.
go see him, gang. Do you want to throw one? I think you should throw one.
That was very satisfying.
Try throwing one. Wait, can we do it together just as we go out?
Where are we going to throw it?
Right on the table.
Oh, throw it down?
Yeah, like smash. Other hand. That way you won't. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Felt good.
Salud.
That felt good.
That's like smashing plates when you're a Greek, except because we're Mexican, we smash tacos.
That's an F-bomb for a clean comedian.
Wait, are you Mexican?
No.
Oh, wait, neither am
People
I.
used to confuse me with Gene Pompa.
Yeah, a Mexican comedian.
I haven't seen Gene in a beat.
In a beat?
Yeah. In a minute.
Okay, playa. Guy goes Ubonics on me at the last second.
Who's going to clean this up?
The Pugs. They love bread.
He would.
Get
He
him
would.
over here. Pull him out of your sweater. Folks,
I'll
that's-
bring him next time.
Bring him next time. That's it for today. Thank you for being here. Until next time, chicken chow mein, baby. Thanks, Tom.
We did it. I mean, I will
Wow.
munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will
Wow.
munch on the edge of a tostada. I mean, I will
Wow.
munch on the edge of a tostada.
Hey everybody, how would you like your very own personal video message from me, yours truly? It's your birthday, it's your anniversary, it's your graduation, or you just want me to make you laugh? You get to pick the topic you want me to discuss, give me some talking points, and off we go. You can get it for yourself or get it for a friend. It's super easy and fun. Just go to the Cameo app on your phone or to cameo.com. And I record a custom video made just for you or your loved one. Your very own personalized Harland. Hey everybody, my brand new book, Uncle Milton, is here at last. It's a collection of strange but wonderful short stories, and you can read that along with some of my other books. I bet you didn't know that I wrote books, did you? It's a little secret I've had. We have Crave with zombie stories, and we have Journeys, people's harrowing tales of their journeys through life, Sex, Sin, and Satan, where we explore some darker themes, and Don't Look Under the Bed, some Twilight Zone-esque stories for bedtime reading at harlandwilliams.com.